All right. Hero Comics here. Next episode of Hero Comics: Transgender hate mail, homosexual hate mail, atheist hate mail. Basically, me reacting to a bunch of screen caps of comments on YouTube and DeviantArt and other places that are about the transgender these deviant lifestyles and a few other things. Trigger warning: if you don't like what I'm saying, go ahead, click off the video, and go watch something else. Do not lie and say there's hate speech for my videos, because there is no hate speech for my videos. It's speech you hate. That's the real story. Let's get you all people getting these wrong with these conversations and me trying to straighten them out with Bible versus the basic biology, and then we can talk about that. Also, it's good to get vaccinated so you can stop spreading germs. I got vaccinated for COVID a while ago. That's why I got this cool T-shirt. And I got vaccinated for flu a while ago. That was my body stronger against flu as well. Let's get you on here. What we got? Click. Let's see here. What's this? F around and F. Well, at least laughing to your cry emoji. There'll be some overlap is what to talk about. Well, at least it lasted 3 concords long. The fans have spoken. F around and find out. That's the person. So it's hey Dr. Disaster, you're welcome. Thanks for giving up to us in the loop. They abandoned Halo to give us this. Is it a game still if people don't play it, or just a code? I don't know, it's a game, but it's a code. These buddy defenders are sick, says someone else. I had to do was nothing. Our enemies were defeating themselves. True. Also similar how RE, Requiem, costs less to produce, yet sold more and cost more. What did that 255 million go to, Bungie? Because certainly wasn't the art. You stole that. I can't play this because I'm on Linux, and I can't use kernel level anti-cheat. Games can no longer use this excuse. If despite having kernel level anti-cheat, they're still cheaters. That's true. Seems pointless having games that can require it, surely. Yeah, it's true. That's effed up. I say this game is basically an online multiplayer mode of a shooter with 4 maps, and now there are cheaters in it. Game over emoji. It's time for Destiny 3. Angry ghost emoji. Yep, it is. And that'll happen eventually if they want to stay alive. Go get it. Look, Destiny 3. There's some stuff that looks like Marathon. Ignore that. Ignore that. Just Destiny 3 like you wanted. That's all they'll do. I can tell you that. Marathon 8 part 11. Comments on Marathon is dead and journals are seething clown emoji. Damage controls the player count stall out. And so it says, as an old FPS fan, this warms my heart. I can't believe the hubris of companies selling FPS games with no campaign. Takes the soul right out of it for me. I like that one. And so it's here guys. I will deny if the game doesn't expand and get more players. It's cooked. I won't even argue if it's a dead game. What I argue is whether or not all the criticism, which is mostly just hate from people who obviously didn't buy the game or did, visible in the sales numbers, is warranted. All the gamer stuff, I don't consider it, because someone else said so, just feels unfair when the product is actually decent, if not good. Yeah, it has the shooting of Bungie shooting, but it's the story is non-existent, pretty much. The characters are bland and unforgettable. The art style is stolen and not gnarly. And what you can do in the game is pretty limited because there's only a few maps. One that is locked unless it's the weekend. What the heck was that about? That's crazy. And so how did the AI thumbnail sell the game better than a rainbow colored Jaguar slot they put in the trailers? Smash secretly adores this game. Laughing with slow drop emoji. Came for the thumbnail. The player count is on SteamDB is pretty bad. 13,000 players at 9 a.m. In my time zone doesn't make this comment. Now it's 4,000. I miss the old Bungie. Me too. I'm still belly chuckling over the fact that if that Sony paid the shills, bought Bungie, tried desperately to get gamers to play this game, and they had to do a bit marathon, which came out in March, that Crimson Desert was player choice game for March. Laughing at you, crying emoji. I wonder if we'll ever know what the full marketing budget was for Congo 3. I'm guessing at $100 million. Let's see here. That's we have hundreds, 3 zeros here. Thousands. Oh yeah. Millions. Yeah, 100,000 euros or some pounds or something. Yeah, definitely a symbol I don't recognize that much. 10% is cheaters, so there are less real players. The game is cooked. I played and enjoyed it, but the atmosphere changed. The players are all running free kits. There's no point in bringing full kits if people are cheating. Marathon Halo Part 13. I say, number 1, a simply not good enough idea. Let's make it a live service game. There you go. 2, a lack of strong execution. More is coming later. We have a years-long plan. 3. Corrupted cult team culture. Let's make this game for the modern audience. Go woke, go broke. Angry face emoji. And I say it costs over $200 to make Marathon. What a waste. Eyeglasses, surprised, wide-eyed emoji. The noticing will continue until AAA quality improves. Yep, it will. Someone says, stop making games as centralized servers only. Bring back the self-hosted server option in games, and I will be more likely to buy it. Someone else. The concourse will continue until morale improves. That's from a movie or something. So it is. I do wonder if anyone got in trouble at Sony or Bungie for paying the $3.6 billion. I wonder if Bungie cooked the books to make it seem they were worth more. Possibly. They were doing live service Halo, which is again a weakening Halo. Very little story campaign, just running around shooting at each other. I have no problem with people with having a mode where you could do that. Have maps do the forge, the firefight. Not got a problem with that stuff. But you need a campaign, so you can be like, oh yeah, the people like me who like story stuff can be like, okay, what's going on with our story? What's going on with our characters? That we like to see, And it's like, oh yeah, the last we saw them, guess what happened? Usually, Halo 5. Here's what happened with Halo 5. Halo 5 had Cortana basically figure out the cure to rampancy, which was made by the Forerunners. She basically downloaded herself into Forerunner tech. Okay, found a cure for rampancy, which is basically what happens to AI systems. Older computer systems when they get to be a certain amount of years old, they start to basically defragment. They start to break down. Their minds start to break down. Basically, they go rampant. That's what rampancy is. They cannot. They wear out, basically. So Cortana finding a cure to it with the Forerunner technology, basically is very interesting. So she's like, yeah, hey, look, she says, I can help you not go rampant. She says to other AIs. Other AIs are like, okay, cool. I'll work with you then, Cortana. So other AIs join her, take control of their ships and their colonies of people, and give it to Cortana. The Guardian robot things that are made of Forerunner tech also start to take over the galaxy. Basically, Amy Jo and friends are thinking that Cortana was turned evil by the Forerunner tech. And be controlled by it. So she's now trying to do stuff. I'm like, okay. I was thinking to myself, this would be great. This would be a wonderful thing to follow up on. And then you get Halo Infinite, and things aren't the same at all. I'm like, did we skip something? That's a little bit of an issue with woke games. Woke DEI pushing games. They skip a lot. Because Suicide Squad, Justice League, you had wonderful stories. Like, we could have been done instead. We could have had games, and we should have games. Hopefully they'll make games like that. But here's how it goes. You're saying after Batman basically semi-retired from Batman Arkham Knight. How much time do you have? This is like some lore here. So yeah, we got time. So let's go. After he's basically semi-retired in Arkham Knight, okay? And maybe use the fear toxin to scare criminals more than he would normally scare criminals if you didn't use it. Okay? You're telling me that he went to Metropolis, met up with the Justice League, hung out with them, took his mask off, and announced he's Bruce Wayne, hung out with them, all right? And then it's like, yeah, we're the Justice League, formed the Justice League, found all the members of the Justice League, at least all 5 of them that were in the game. And basically then they had adventures of their own off-screen, and then they got beaten up and captured by Brainiac because they were idiots. I'm like, it was terrible. Then Suicide Squad happened. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League happened. That's how that game works. There was stuff in the past that they neglected to talk about. There was also the crappy tie-in comics where they killed off characters that would have been amazing characters to play as well. The Mad Hatter, Clayface, Zaz, bunch of characters that would have been great to play as, and would cause a lot of drama and awesome stuff to go on. You do things right. Imagine Victor Zsasz wanting to kill people, but he can't unless he's told to by Waller and what's the name? Rick Flag, because if he tries to, he'll get his head blown off. It would just be crazy stuff right there. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. Gets electrocuted or whatever, it was just so many things they could have done. But they didn't want to do that. They wanted to focus on hating on the Justice League because they're losers. Because they are villains and Justice League are heroes. That's what's going on here. Same thing happened with Halo. Halo Infinite skipped so many things. There was a lot of things that were skipped. Cortana and the Cortana and the Guardians and other AIs were about to take over the galaxy. A ship, basically with our remaining heroes on it, had to escape. They had to escape to basically warp randomly to some place so they could get away and regroup. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're all dead. Now they're all dead. Well, that happened off screen. Yeah, now everything's all dead. Oh, here's a Halo. Here's a Halo. Have fun with a Halo. Oh, new enemies. Escharum and Atriox, the brutes of a group that we don't know, banished or whatever. It's just like, what? I thought they were going to kill off Master Chief because you had Atriox, a brute. The brutes are bigger and stronger than Master Chief is. And he's like, yes, bear your face. Looking all crazy. Fight hard, die well. I'm like, okay, they're going to kill Master Chief off. Then they don't have to worry about Master Chief no more. And they're going to have Halo multiplayer and have new characters come in again and stuff like that. I was afraid they were going to do. Thankfully, they didn't do that, but still, we haven't had any Halo games in a long time. We got Halo Combat Campaign Evolved, which is a prequel. They added new stuff into it, which, in my opinion, should have been a sequel. Should have left that other game alone. But I won't. Here we go. Let's see here. Marathon update. The Traveler has appeared. Now the robots are guardians of the Traveler. That's how you say Marathon. I say angry fit ghost emoji. Yeah. When they tell you there's no need to panic, that's when you really know that things are about to hit the fan. How much time we got? All right. I'll see you guys next time. Check me out on YouTube TV.